In today's episode, we're going to be talking about my introduction to you guys, but also what it's like to be an artist in your 20s. Let's get started. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of My Creative Journal. Today, like I said in the introduction, we're going to be talking about who I am as your host. My name is Bryce. I am a photographer, cinematographer, graphic designer, and so much more. One of my favorite things is to talk to other creative people about being creative. In episode 2, I'm going to be giving you guys a full cut of a podcast pilot that I made in college for a class project, and I thought it was so fun that it encouraged me to make this podcast. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. That'll be coming out soon. But in today's episode, I am going to introduce who I am as a creative person. Ever since I was a little kid, I have had a camera in my hands. I think one of the reasons that I love taking photos so much is that when I was little, my mom would follow me and my family around with a camera, and it was so fun to just have those memories because my mom would take pictures at events or like just everyday things, and now I have those memories to look back in physical copies of photos. I think one of the craziest things for me is that I have those memories now in those physical copies of photos, and it's something just so precious to me. And I think that was one of the reasons why I love taking photos now, is that I can help other people capture those memories, those lifelong memories. And I think it's so fun when you do something like a wedding or portraits and you can help capture their personal story in that photo or video, and it's something they can hold dearly to their heart forever. But I think it's such an interesting idea that for just a few moments or an hour or whatever it is, media can take you into this world and feel emotions. And it's something that, like, even in a video, even if you don't know the language or the music or whatever it is, you can still feel that emotion. Silent films can make you feel something, even without words or music. To give you guys a quick idea of who I am, I went to college for visual and fine arts with a concentration in cinematography. It was so interesting to meet people that love what you love to do. And I'm not saying everybody needs to go to college, especially for the creative arts, but for me especially, it was a chance to meet those people, and they seriously changed my life. I will probably touch on it in episodes in the future, but college was an amazing and special time in my life. It helped push me to take what I was doing seriously and make it a career. Currently, I am a teacher, being able to stick with the creative field, which is amazing to me, and it really blends two of my favorite things, which is helping other people and being creative. So God bless me in that way, and I don't take it lightly at all. College helped me realize that the idea of being a starving artist doesn't have to exist. If you are creative in your 20s, I know a lot of us have heard the idea of a starving artist or being creative is not a job or whatever it is. And I want this podcast to be a journal of my life, but also learning from other people. I want to interview amazing creative people and see what they've done, what they've learned, and see what God has done in each and every one of their lives. Because I know that it is scary looking at a world of unlimited possibilities. There's not one set path that we all need to take. If you are a creative in your 20s, this is a perfect time because there are so many possibilities and so many opportunities for us as creatives. And I'm not saying if you're a creative, you have to make this a job. I think keeping something creative personal to you and as a hobby or whatever it is perfect. You can have it as something special to you instead of getting maybe burnt out on it because you do it every single day. When I was in college, I met so many different people that had so many different aspirations in life. And it's so crazy to see how even just a short time after college, you can see them creating and achieving those goals they had. I know that it's possible. Your dreams can come true. It doesn't have to just stay as a dream. I know it's not easy, and I know it's not something that just happens overnight. And I want this podcast to be a journal, those baby steps. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dave Ramsey, but he is a guy that talks about money and financial wealth and how do you get out of debt. One of his biggest things are what you call baby steps. And you go through, I think, 7 of them, and he just breaks down simple steps like saving, spending less, all of those simple things. And I just love the idea of breaking things down to baby steps. And I think that's exactly what you want to have in your creative journey. I don't think it has to be these monumental steps. Like right out of college, I went to work at SNL or CBS or ABC or whatever it is. I think those baby steps from right out of college, I worked at Target, but I also started doing weddings more, or I did more portraits, or I did more of this. Sometimes those baby steps are more monumental than you think. And I think it's so important to write those things down or capture them in some way. Those baby steps will help remind you that God is good and He is pushing you to do great things. I know that was probably a lot of information. That was a lot of different random things, but I hope this podcast will be a chance for you, if you are in your 20s and a creative, that you can look at my journey or other people's journey when I get to interview them or have conversations with people or give you tips and tricks that I've learned. I'm not going to tell you that I'm perfect or that I know everything, because I don't, but this is a journey, my creative journey. And I think we all have different steps in our life, but this is my chance to capture it in an audio format and that I can come back and listen to it. And I just hope that if you're listening, that you can go along with me. Thank you guys so much for listening. I know it was a lot of information, and this was just an introduction to this podcast and who I am. I'm so excited for you guys to hear episode 2 and so on. Make sure you guys rate this podcast 5 stars on all your favorite streaming services. I will see you guys next time. Peace.